Hey friends, so glad you're here. Today's video I will be sharing my homemade chicken noodle soup. This is part of the fall soup collab being hosted by Life's Little Things. I will have a playlist below, so please go check out the other soups. Also, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. So I like to just use a rotisserie chicken and pick off all the meat. Then I put everything that's left from the chicken into the pot. I cover it completely with water. I will boil it and then simmer it for about an hour. At that time, I'll cut up all my vegetables, which is just celery, carrots, and onions. Once the broth is done, I will use a strainer and drain it all out so I'm left with just the liquid. Then I will just discard the rest of the chicken into the trash. Next, I get the veggies ready by adding roughly a couple tablespoons of butter to the pan. This will not only add some flavor to the vegetables, but it will help in sautéing them. Now the vegetables, you don't want them to be mushy by any means. You just want them to cook until they're tender, because they will continue to cook once we put the broth back in. So now that they're nice and tender, I will add the broth in and the chicken back in, and I will give it a nice stir. Lastly, I am going to season my broth. I use salt and pepper to taste. Then I add in some basil, oregano, and parsley. I don't typically measure, actually I never measure my ingredients for my chicken noodle soup, but it is probably about 1 teaspoon of the basil, oregano, and parsley. Then I let that simmer until it is well and combined. For the noodles, I recommend using egg noodles, and if you need gluten-free, there's always the brown rice option. So now the noodles are all done and have been drained. My biggest tip for homemade chicken noodle soup is to keep your noodles out of your broth. You only add them when you're serving it. I like to store them in Ziploc bags in the fridge, but do not put them in the broth. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to check out the playlist below. Also in the comment section, please tell me what is your family's favorite soup. See you guys.